The runoff election is here and voters are still hitting the polls. Coming up, a live report on the big race for mayor.
Plus, we're getting our first look at the Kerrville mom accused of leaving her two little girls in a hot car.
And we are also following an anti-Sharia law protest in Austin and several more cities across the country.
But first, happening right now, San Antonians are casting their ballots in the city runoff elections. Yeah,
the polls are open until 7, so there's still plenty of time for you to get out and vote if you have not done so. Now, San Antonians will be voting for mayor, either incumbent Ivy Taylor or her challenger, current District 8 Councilman Ron Nirenberg. Also, there are 6 other city council seats in today's runoff. Those are in districts 1, 2, 6, 8, 9, and 10. Now, more than 60,000 people voted during early voting, and as of 4 p.m. this afternoon, 22,052 people voted today.
The most highly contested race of this election runoff is the mayoral matchup between incumbent candidate Ivy Taylor and former district councilman Ron Nirenberg.
Yeah, Taylor received 42% of the vote in the general election and Nirenberg got 37%, a difference of about 5,000 votes. Eyewitness News reporter Priya Sridhar joins us live from Nirenberg's campaign headquarters with more. So Priya, what's the mood like as of now?
Well, Phil, no one's here quite yet. I have heard from the workers here that Ron Nirenberg has spent most of the day block walking and doing some last-minute campaigning, but this has been a very contentious race. Many people didn't expect it to be this close. One potential game changer for the Nirenberg camp is the recent endorsement that he received from former San Antonio Mayor Julian Castro. Now, either Taylor or Nirenberg is going to need a majority of the votes to become the next mayor of San Antonio. Neither one of them could pull that off in the general elections when the race was packed with 14 candidates. Mayor Taylor might have a slight advantage because she has won a runoff in the past in her last race back in 2015. Now, both Nirenberg and Mayor Taylor describe themselves as Democrats, but they disagree on a lot of issues, including SB 4, which Ron Nirenberg opposes. He also voted against the police contract proposal that Mayor Taylor proposed and passed last summer. He also voted against the annexation plan that would have given 2 miles of commercial real estate along Highway 281 north of Loop 1604 back to the city. Nirenberg is a former 2-term councilman here in San Antonio. As you mentioned, 60,000 people voted in these elections during the early voting rounds, but that only accounts for 8% of the total voters here in San Antonio. So it's sure going to be a very close race, and we'll continue to keep you updated on the latest developments throughout the night here on KENS 5. Reporting live from the Nirenberg camp headquarters, Priya Sridhar, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.
All right, Priya, thank you for that report. Now, coming up on Eyewitness News at 6, we'll have a live report from Mayor Taylor's election watch party, and we'll hear from the mayor and her thoughts on how her campaign shaped up during another month of heated debates and meeting voters.
The District 2 runoff heated up a bit when the incumbent councilman was found asleep on a bench outside City Hall and later admitted that he had had too much alcohol to drink and passed out.
Yeah, so could that be a factor in the race, or will District 2 voters choose to keep Alan Warwick over political newcomer William Cruz Shaw? Eyewitness News reporter Sue Kalberg has more from District 2.
District 2 campaign workers were a wee bit lonely early Saturday with an anemic drip of voters trickling in. At Hirsch Elementary, only 37 voters had cast ballots by noontime. But incumbent Alan Warwick said things improved as the day wore on. He expects between 900 and 1,200 votes to be cast by the end of the day. Warwick led a crowded field in May, but only managed to capture 41% of the vote, finishing 721 votes ahead of the pack. I am with William Cruz Shaw, the challenger in District 2. You've served on many boards and commissions, but this is your first real race. Talk a little bit about turnout today, both early voting and today. Have you been able to get District 2 voters off the couch?
You know, I think we've increased our numbers a tad bit. District 2 has always been a historically low turnout, but with the grassroots efforts that we've had, we've increased that number dramatically. So hopefully we can continue to increase that number throughout the day.
And the polls are still open, yep. So what's your strategy for the home stretch?
Calling folks, get them to the polls. If we gotta give them a ride, go pick them up, take them to the polls, but make sure that they realize how important it is to vote. You still have about 2 hours to get to the polls. Sue Kalberg, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.